Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth, and if you're not into that or weird shit in general, then this is probably not the place for you. Feel free to X out the video here, no harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the review and the swatches and all that good shit, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. This is just a weird story, and to this day I never really understood what I saw, or if I even saw what I saw. I don't know, it's just fucking weird. My parents got divorced when I was about 5 years old, and I lived with my mom. And my mom stayed single until I was 17 years old. She never dated anybody, she never brought anybody into this house. Like, that bitch remained fucking celibate, which I don't even understand how. Which I just really disclosed a lot of information about my mom, and I really feel bad about it now. As I was about to graduate from high school, she met my stepfather on an AOL chat room, which sounds fucking adorable. I know, it was like, you've got mail, except nobody was rich. My stepfather's from New Hampshire, so my mom doesn't drive. Every other weekend or so, she would get on the Greyhound bus, the trooper that she is, and take a bus from New York to Boston and Boston to Manchester, because he was from Manchester, New Hampshire. It's unbelievable that my mom did it for so many years, and fucking dedication. That woman deserves a medal. Every now and again I would actually accompany my mom, just because, you know, whatever, to keep her company, and the fact that I just didn't want to fucking stay in New York. New Hampshire is actually pretty cool. It's just a very laid back, awesome state. Actually, there's fresh air. In New York, it's just smog and piss, so fresh air is always a good thing. On this particular visit, I remember something very weird happening. I remember my stepfather telling me that his house was haunted by a woman. And I was like, you're fucking with me. And he was like, no, like literally there's a woman that's here. And I was like, okay. And my mom actually was like, yeah, I think I feel her presence. Like, it's definitely weird. She doesn't like me. And I'm like, what do you mean she doesn't like you? Everybody loves my mom. She's like, no, she'll like knock over my makeup bag when I'm here. Be like a makeup bag that's purposely like sitting in the middle of the dresser, and it'll somehow just get knocked across the room. And I was like, well, that's fucking strange. So that night it kind of freaked me out a little bit, because I was like, oh my god, there's like a fucking woman ghost here that obviously hates my mom because she really just wants to be with my stepfather, and she sees my mom as a threat. So that's hilarious. It's like fucking ghost drama. This is great. So that night I was actually asleep on the couch in the living room. The next morning I woke up and I was wide awake. Went to the bathroom, came back, was sitting on the couch watching TV. Normal, right? It was very early Saturday morning. And I saw my mom come out of the bedroom, and she walked into the kitchen. She came back with like 2 coffee mugs, which I thought was like kind of weird. I was like, the bitch didn't even ask me if I wanted coffee. And I remember she kind of stopped at the door and she looked at me, and I looked at her. I said, oh, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm bringing coffee. I said, oh, okay, I'll have one. And she just like looked at me, got into the room, and she closed the door. So I was like, okay. So I'm continuing to watch TV. I don't think anything of it. About 15 minutes later, my mom comes out of the bedroom and she goes, what are you doing up? And I'm like, what do you mean what I'm doing up? Like, I'm watching TV. Like, what happened to the coffee that you brought? She's like, what are you talking about? You just had coffee. I was like, I asked you to make me one, and you just kind of looked at me. She went, no, I didn't. I said, yes, you did. You had coffee. Like, where did you go with this coffee? She's like, T, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't have any coffee. I freaked out, because I was like, what do you mean? Because it scared the shit out of me, because it was a fucking woman. It was a woman that looked exactly like my mom, like fucking looked like my mom, talked like my mom, and she made fucking dead eye contact with me, and she disappeared into that room, and she fucking came out. There's like no woman, no coffee, no nothing. And I just remember like losing my shit, pretty much almost crying hysterically. My mom being like, you probably were asleep. And I was like, no bitch, I wasn't asleep. I fucking saw you and you had coffee. Like, fucking believe me. And so my mom was just trying to calm me down, telling me like, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And I was like, no, it's not fine. There's a fucking woman in this house that looks like you. What the fuck? I thought it was the craziest fucking thing. After that time, anytime I stayed in that house, I felt immediately uncomfortable. Like, I felt like the air was even thicker, like a heaviness just sat on my chest. And I just felt like whatever was in that house did not want me to be there, did not want my mom to be there. We need to get the fuck out. It was just such a fucking weird experience, and I will never to this day understand what I saw, who I saw, but that sure as shit looked like my mom. It acted like my mom, and it talked like my mom. Have you ever had that happen where you thought you saw somebody, or you did see somebody? I don't know. I feel like I don't really even know what to classify it as. I Googled it. I guess it's considered a doppelganger, but like in what sense? I don't really know. But then I've also heard that ghosts could do that. I don't know. It's just, honestly, it's really fucking strange. And to this day, I still never understand how or why that happened. Just fucking strange. Ghost pretending to be my mom. Should have asked her for some money. Fuck. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the LA Splash Cosmetics Classic Horror palette, which is this beautiful little girl right here. So before I get into my thoughts, let me read you a little bit about the palette. This palette has 10 unique, creamy, and blendable shades conjured up to fit every monstrous look. Inspired by the golden age of horror, we have brought you 10 unique, never-before-seen colors conjured up to fit every monstrous look. Creamy, pigmented shadows that blend so effortlessly, you are sure to scream of delight. This palette retails for $27. I also got a liquid lipstick, and I'm an asshole because I just realized it now, so let me take off this and put on that liquid lipstick. This color is a little out there. Don't really know if this necessarily goes with the look. I think the other color that I had on worked better, but whatever, we're just gonna fucking keep trudging forward. Anyway, let me read you a little bit about this lipstick. Inspired by the golden age of horror, we have brought you a collection like no other. 8 unique, never-before-seen colors conjured up to fit every shade of you. Ultra matte finish, you are sure to scream of delight. These guys retail for a whopping $16. So let's talk about the lipstick first. Not my favorite consistency. I'm not really a huge fan of this color per se. I think it's just really pinky, very Barbie. I think I already kind of have this in my collection. It kind of reminds me of the Jeffree Star Soft Serve one. I think it kind of looks a little bit like this. No, not quite. Soft Serve is actually a little bit more brighter. It does dry down matte, but it just feels tacky. So it took me 2 coats to apply this. The first one actually came out a little streaky, a little patchy. The second one felt like I had a lot of product on, and I personally don't like feeling like I have a lot of shit on my lips. It doesn't feel weightless. It doesn't feel like a Jeffree Star liquid lip. It doesn't feel like a Kat Von D liquid lip or an Ofra liquid lip. It just feels like, I don't know, like I have something there. If I keep talking, it's gonna get on my teeth and it's just gonna like, just get everywhere. I mean, it transfers a little bit, like nothing too crazy, but it's still not my favorite formula. I don't think I would probably pick up any other ones, although I'm a little disappointed with this color. I think I should have probably chosen more of like that weird deady neutral brown color, but for whatever reason, I thought maybe that would be too purple. But I think Tara Krueger, who, if you don't know who Tara Krueger is a wonderful YouTuber. I will definitely link his channel down below. He actually reviewed this collection as well, and I remember seeing that liquid lipstick on him, and I was like, fuck, bitch, I should have bought that one. Oh, God damn it. But in any case, I'm not particularly a fan of this color, so I wonder if I would have bought that, I would have had a different experience with it. So with that said, let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. This thing is awesome. Look how beautiful and stunning this packaging is. It's so fucking gorgeous. When you open it up, it still has this beautiful detail where the mirror is, and you have these 10 wonderful shades. That is essentially a wonderful rainbow palette. I'm so sorry that it took me so long to review this because this palette is awesome. I was a little worried though, I'm not gonna lie, because when I swatched it, I was like, bitch, this is fucking patchy. But it goes to show you that swatches really don't mean anything, and that you really should actually test them on your eye, because that would really be the ultimate truth if something's going to work or not. So to this whole palette, the only shades that I didn't use was the shade Madness, which is this lime green shade, and the black shade, which is Lights Out. Those are the 2 that I did not use. And I didn't use them because, well, Lights Out is a very, very pigmented matte black, which is fucking great and beautiful, and I felt like if I added that to this look, it kind of would fuck things up, so that's why I didn't add it. And I didn't add the Madness eyeshadow because I technically created a green shadow on this lid by using the colors Curse and Toxic, so that's why I didn't use that green. But that green is very pretty. It's a very lime green, and I cannot wait to use it in the future. Now with that said, I had no issue with these eyeshadows. They're very, very easy to use. And I'm kind of glad because the swatches looked, like I said, it looked a little patchy, looked a little shitty, and I was very happy to say that I had no issue with blending out, building up. Granted, when you put these on your lid, especially like the purple shade, for example, which I know is very difficult to make purples in general, it wasn't like bam, so much color. It had like a very beautiful like light wash of lavender, but when you kept going in and building that color up, it just came up so pretty. I don't know, I love this eye. It's like a fun little cotton candy dream moment, like, you know, fat Katy Perry. I love that. This is just like my rusty, disgusting sunset. I don't know, I was kind of just going for a thing today, as you can tell. Today's just a weird day. Whatever, I don't give a shit. There was little to no fallout in the pan, which was very impressive. There was no fallout with any eyeshadow except the color Blue Moon, which is this color right here in the corner. That one had a lot of fallout, like a crazy amount of fallout. And I used that color on my lower lash line, and I just had like so much shit right here. So luckily I was able to brush a lot of it away. However, it did leave a little bit of a blue cast, contrast. I had to use my beauty blender to kind of bounce out the blue so I don't look like I fucked a Smurf. So that was fun. Other than that, I really had no issue with any of these eyeshadows. I think what I like about them so much is that they blend so perfectly together. Nothing looks patchy, nothing looks muddy, nothing. Like, it's actually kind of amazing, especially with this eye in particular. Like, everything just blended together. It kind of reminds me of the Laura Lee palette in that way. Like, this literally took me not even 10 minutes to do. It's a simple eye look. It's nothing too crazy. I was very happy with this eye. I think it's so pretty. So for this look, I fucked it up a little bit because what I wanted to do was actually try to put the neon yellow like dead center in the middle. However, mixing with the red color just kept coming out orange. Didn't really look good. So that's why this might look a little funny on the side here. It's because I was just trying to like buff everything out so it looked a little bit normal. I don't know. I was just trying to be different, y'all. Okay? It just didn't really pan out to the way that I wanted to. Overall though, I'm super excited about this palette and I'm kind of pissed that it took me so long to play around with this because Halloween's over. I know, and this actually would have been an amazing palette to use for Halloween. Granted, I was on a plane on Halloween coming home to New York, so it's not like I could do anything fun. But if I had my own Halloween the way that I wanted to, I would have definitely used this palette and created some weird slutty look, and it would have been awesome. The great thing about this though, is that this is still available on the LASPLASH website for the amount of $27. So I definitely think for $27, this is so fucking worth it. This is so awesome. Plus, this is a really cool indie company. And I think we all should support indie companies because indie companies are sometimes better than big businesses. And the other cool thing about this palette is that it is cruelty-free. So if you're interested in only cruelty-free makeup, here you guys go. It's cruelty-free. It's great. I wish I really liked the liquid lipsticks more, but maybe I fucked up and got a weird color and I probably should have got like the more brown color, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna wrap up the video now before I go choke out my fucking neighbors. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'll see you little spooky pumpkins later. Bye.